Welcome everybody to the Daily Space Weather. I'm your host Dan, aka smAsho. Today's video is entitled, Not Everything is Electric. MANSA! It's up to you. That means make America not suck again. And we had a tsunami happen yesterday, generated by an earthquake around 2100 Universal Time. It was a 7.5 magnitude earthquake. We'll get to it. First, we're looking at the sun. And we see an active region rising in the northeast, and a beta-class sunspot right in the Earth-facing zone in southern latitudes. It's a Cycle 25 sunspot, and we've got some custom videos. Here is that active region in the northeast. Fantastic view here of a bunch of filamentary behavior. Not sure if it's a sunspot yet, although there's quite a bit of filaments associated with it. My best guess is that it is a sunspot. We'll have to wait, though, and keep you in suspense. And here's the view in 171 angstroms. Again, quite a bit of filamentary looping here in this ionized iron spectra. And next, let's take a look at sunspot 2776. It's still quite significant. And it does have two opposite polarities, although the North Pole umbrae are quite small. So it's not very likely for this to produce any really huge solar flares, unless those North Pole umbrae get a little larger, I would say. Here's the 171 angstroms. Fantastic view there from the SDO, the Solar Dynamics Observatory. The radio flux has gone up to 76, and there's a graph going back to 2014 featuring sunspot number and the 10.7 centimeters. The 10.7 centimeter radio flux, a measure of the radio output of the outer solar corona, and the KP index currently at 2. Let me check the life of the stream and the chat. And thanks to everybody once again for tuning in to the Smash News Network. This is SNN, the least busted name in news. We haven't seen any solar flares since yesterday's trifecta. 3 little B-class flares, all similar in size there. No major proton strikes. We do see a bit of a coronal mass ejection looking strike here happening. And one thing I would also note here is that the phi angle shifted right after that earthquake. So the earthquake happened right about here. And so yeah, the earthquake happened just before 2100 Universal Time. And there you can see right after the quake happened, a major shift in the phi angle. But no pre-earthquake signal there on the solar wind data. And here you can see this coronal mass ejection strike. You can see the solar wind speed jumping up at the same time as the density, an indication it's probably not a coronal hole wind stream, but a bit of ejecta. So the density got as high as about 18 protons per cubic centimeter. The speed got up to about 433 and has since been pretty stable around that level. The density did drop down. It could be a combination of a coronal hole wind stream and a coronal mass ejection strike. Anyway, the current phi angle 113 degrees. Current BT-BZ is 3 for the BT and -1 for the BZ, so fairly convergent there, and a fairly low power BT measurement. Current solar wind density 3.58 protons per cubic centimeter. Solar wind speed currently 434. kilometers per second. Here's a visualization of the magnetosphere courtesy University of Michigan. It's 4 hours of data based on the space weather modeling framework. And we do show this daily. If you want to see what was happening on a different day around this time of day, go view one of our older space weather videos. There's a playlist, youtube.com/smashamash/playlists. Next, looking at ground magnetic perturbations. And since we're living through a polar excursion, a geomagnetic polar excursion, we show this daily as well. And we do see a bit of induction here as a result of that small increase in the solar wind speed. Keep in mind this is keeping track of changes in the B field, hence delta B in science. When we say delta, we mean change in. Goes magnetometers, looking a little spiky here, and no surprise there as we just saw some plasma arrive at the magnetosphere. And since the magnetic fields cause the plasma to heat up and align to the fields, that's what happens to the magnetometer readings. Here's a top view ecliptic plane field plot. We are solidly in the North Pole current sheet. Nothing too exciting to write home about there. All pretty basic stuff. Here's a line of sight field plot, and you can see some pretty big pulls here in the B field associated with sunspot 2776 largely. You'll see it be pulled down toward the sunspot there. And you can see it puffing up here as we see an active region rising. So some changes in the B field kicking up. Here's the coronal magnetic field plot. This shows you open potential field force lines in black, closed potential field force lines in pink, and coronal hole potential field force lines in purple. And we've moved into another episode of the Smash Lights, because here at the Smash News Network, we don't want to see the place burned to the ground. And so we have to talk about certain subjects like how plasma, it's still not magic. The universe is still not electric. And since we don't see things like Birkeland currents at cosmological distances, it's quite obvious that the universe is not electric. So I don't know why that triggers people so much, but it's just reality. So yeah, let's get to the Smash Lights. Let's talk about censorship. Have you noticed that big tech has been censoring a little bit? Have you noticed a little bit of propaganda in the media? Were you following our videos back in 2018 when we got, shall we say, a little bit critical of Facebook? Who needs a government? Big tech will censor you for free. And by the way, any software that's free is treating you as the product. Yes. The reason big tech companies are paid is because they're selling marketing data to companies selling products to people in India and China. There are like 3 billion people in India and China, and that is why so much software is free, and why there's so much censorship, and why there's so much nonsense and BS on the internet. We're calling out a bunch of it at Twitter. If you don't follow us at Twitter, well, you're missing out on exclusive content. And I've been having fun over there. We've even put up the new shirt, and more on that in a minute. Twitter.com/smashamash. Let's talk about shark jumpers. Were you aware of the Streisand effect? Well, MIT was aware of the Streisand effect. And it turns out that Twitter's ban almost doubled the attention for the Biden misinformation. Actually, it was an attempt to stop information. I like the way MIT refers to it as misinformation. So, yeah. In any case, well done, Twitter. You've jumped the shark. And all you've done is cause more people to pay attention to the story. So well done. That's what the Streisand effect is. The Streisand effect was named for what happened with Barbara Streisand. I forget what the story was. There was some kind of story about Barbara Streisand. Hold on, let me look this up. What happened was, in 2003, Barbra Streisand attempted to suppress a photograph of her Malibu, California residence by trying to sue a photographer for $50 million for the aerial photograph. Before the lawsuit, the photo had only been downloaded 6 times from the photographer's website, but as a result, and 2 of those were from the Streisand's attorneys. However, when the story went viral, over 420,000 people visited the site. In any case, the lawsuit was dismissed, and Streisand was ordered to pay $155,567 to cover the photographer's legal fees. How much is it going to cost Jack Dorsey? Do you think it will have a similar effect? Now, Jack Dorsey's a billionaire. He won't notice if he pays $155,000. It'll be interesting to see what happens here, as the federal government has promised to produce some lawsuits. Yes, were you aware? Were you aware that big tech can't break the internet, but the internet can break big tech? Well, I've been aware of this for a long time, probably as early as 2012, but certainly as early as 2016, when I saw obvious electioneering by this company, especially, but also this company, 2 of the largest companies in the whole world, and those particular organizations are trying very hard to break the internet. It's not working because people are too smart, especially people in my generation, as Generation X people are uniquely suited to do things based on computers. It all just has to do with our age and the way technology is advanced. Let's talk about some more shark jumpers. Tom Wolfe, Pennsylvania's leading COVIDiot. Turns out in Pennsylvania, you'll be able to vote a solid week after the election's already over. Yes, yes. So Pennsylvania's been doing its part to make America suck. So thanks a lot, Tom Wolfe. I really wish you'd resign and move to Sri Lanka. I hear it's lovely this time of year, before the monsoon season. So it turns out you're going to be able to vote. The deadline for absentee ballots to be counted will go all the way until November 6th in Pennsylvania. How do you like that? Yeah, great. Thanks, Supreme Court. Well done. Well done. So Pennsylvania is leading the way on suckage and a lot of things. I guess not on deaths. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook. It's facebook.com/smashamash. I've also got 2 personal accounts there where I argue with people about things that they seem to not quite understand. We're also on Instagram. And there's the MANSA shirt. Yeah, I'm wearing it right now, folks. So today's featured shirt is MANSA. Make America Not Suck Again. On the Instagram page, we've actually put the link in the bio now. So you can go right there, instagram.com/smashamash, click on that. That'll take you to the Teespring store. Today's cosmology segment doesn't exist. However, we're a cosmology organization. If you head to the homepage, smashamash.org, you'll be redirected to smashamash.com. There you can find links to the forum. Our social media is underneath that arrow. And there are 2 Teespring stores as well as an affiliate link. So check out the forum. We do have an October contest. We're giving away a free shirt. We've also got forums specifically on cosmology, geophysics, heliophysics. There's a free-for-all. And the October contest is pinned. All you got to do is type "sign me up." And the deadline for that is October 26th. On October 27th, we will announce a winner who will be determined through quantum random number generation. If you haven't checked out the affiliate links, if you'd like to support us that way, perhaps you'd be interested in our shopping list. We've got all kinds of things like water filters and shower heads and shoe goo and personal protective equipment. even things like shampoo and conditioner, so in case Joe Biden's standing behind you, your hair can smell perfectly. Again, if you purchase anything on teespring.com, don't forget to enter the promo code MANSA on checkout through October 31st. The promo code MANSA will get you 10%. And I'm wearing the purple MANSA shirt right now. Shout out to Smash staff. She'll be wearing one later. There's the design, and it looks fantastic, by the way. By the way, we do stream live most days to Twitch. I'm surprised we're only at 52 followers. I don't get it. But in any case, if you enjoy the content on YouTube, press like and subscribe over there. Visit our links, etc. Help support the channel, as we're paid nearly nothing to make these videos by Google AdSense. We make about, let's see, I think on Google AdSense we make something like $150 a year at the current rate. And that's why we've expanded our operation into various places like BitChute. And here ends another episode of Smash Lights, another aspect of the Smash News Network. And guess what? The universe is still not electric. I'll tell you what are electric: the Van Allen belts. Here's the 1-year electron flux. That's the relativistic electron. It's greater than 2 mega electron volts. And we see very low levels, actually. NOAA is forecasting a small increase, which sounds logical to me. Wait a couple days, we're going to see a big increase. And there's the current state of affairs. That's a 3-day chart. Here's a visualization, and we see some significant anomalies here. In the total electron content forecast, you can see big puddles of electrons here over North America, as well as Canada. I'll let this play through a second time so you can see that. And we've been seeing anomalies in the North American region here for electron content for the last 3 days or so. And you'll see some major GPS errors at those times. And you can see right around here, that's usually a time for low electron flux. You can see that blob popping up there. Keep in mind, it is spring in the southern hemisphere and fall in the northern hemisphere. So the sun is, relatively speaking, the sun's rays at least are south of the equator. Here's just one layer. It's the ionosphere. And we show this visualization every day also, so people are immersed in the data and perhaps will derive some new hypotheses about how it relates. As we're interested in facts here and advancing the real science, not filling your mind with a bunch of BS and pretty pictures and animations of things that don't exist in nature. Anyway, here's the latest image, and it's looking fairly normal here. Let's see. No, it's looking pretty anomalous here. It's quite charged up on the nighttime side here, right over the South Atlantic anomaly. That image is from 8 o'clock Universal Time. Coming at you a little earlier today. If you're up before dawn, you may see Mars and Venus. Where will you be when Cygnus sets? At my location, it's going to set, Deneb at least, it's going to set at about 6 a.m. And if you don't know about Deneb, head to smashamash.com/forum. Go to the cosmology section. There's a long thread about it. Here's where stuff is in the solar system, and I've been sleeping great. How about you? There's where things will be in a week. And it looks like Frito-Lay's stranglehold on the solar system may have evaporated. Here's this tsunami-generating earthquake. 91 kilometers southeast of Sandpoint, Alaska. And we even saw tsunamis in Hawaii. Let me bring it up. Tsunami.gov. And the highest tsunami we saw was only about 2.3 feet there at Sandpoint, Alaska. Let me show you the Hawaii. Here's the Hawaii. And they did see a little bit of tsunami activity. They saw a 1-foot tsunami for 16 minutes at Hilo. Leave a comment, Gabrielle Reese, if you're watching the videos. Somehow I doubt it. Again, that happened at 20:54 Universal Time, just before 9 o'clock 9 p.m. Universal Time, Greenwich Mean Time, Zulu, whatever you want to call it. Let's scroll up the list. It's going to have a lot of stuff on it. I'm going to go kind of fast. There was a deep quake in Indonesia. And there's that 7.5 quake. The largest quake in quite a while. And quite a few big aftershocks. Please leave us a comment if you felt that or saw a tsunami. Little bit about me. I've never actually felt an earthquake, and I've been in quite a few of them here in eastern Pennsylvania. Here's a deep quake in Fiji. That one came in about an hour after the large quake at Alaska at 21:58 Universal Time. About 54 minutes, actually, after the large quake. So that's a bit of an end to the 7 magnitude earthquake drought. We're still seeing a drought of 8 and 9 magnitude earthquakes. Let's hope that 7.5 was not a foreshock. No real indication that it was. And there was really no pre-earthquake signal there associated with that one. Let's look at volcanoes. They were upticked yesterday. Let's see if they still are. Suwanosejima back on the list, flight level 070, a 7,000-foot ash plume lies above that caldera. Tokono exploding as well, similar-sized ash plume. Popocatépetl volcanic ash not seen. Please don't pole vault the caldera. It could be erupting, as it's satellite imagery. Sangay's exploding, 21,000-foot ash plume there. Revenador exploding, flight level 150, 15,000 feet there. And Sabancaya also exploding, producing intermittent emissions and an ash cloud of 24,000 feet altitude. Please do not attempt to build a home-built helicopter and fly it over the caldera. It could be unhealthful. Here's the weather.gov map. Bunch of winter weather advisories there over the northern plains. Here are the jet streams of the east. Here are the jet streams of the west. Here are pressure cells. We're going to let this advance into the... We're going to let this advance into the GFS forecast, not the Euro forecast. Not that I have anything against the Euro forecast. I just try to show the same data most days. And here's where we expect things to be at noon tomorrow, my time, according to the GFS forecast, which is what we tend to cover here at the Smash News Network. Next, we'll take a look at lightningmaps.org. I like to use it when I hear thunder. It's 4:20. Do you know where your lightning is? And we've seen a rogue bolt. Check it out. A rogue bolt near Lexington, Kentucky. Hey, Paris. Hey, Georgetown. There's thunder rolling in. Here's the GOES lightning mapper. And I'm not going to hit refresh or anything. That's the last several hours there. Quite a lot of lightning over the Caribbean still and the Gulf of Mexico. Here's a U.S. Doppler radar map, and we're seeing a bunch of snow over Montana and North and South Dakota, as well as a line of storms there over the northern border of Kentucky. It's the site of least resistance. And here's the Tropical Tidbits forecast. They are still calling for 9 inches of snow here in southern Minnesota, and quite a bit of snow in western Wisconsin as well. Please leave a comment if you're a cheesehead. I eat cheese like every day, like it's crack. And we're going to zoom in on the cloud layer here over northern Kentucky. Shout out to Rand Paul. Please drop us a line and let us know when you're creating the next waste report. If you're not familiar with Rand Paul's waste report, You should check it out. It's fantastic. Simply fantastic. I need an animation. There we go. And here's this string of storms over Kentucky. This should give you some idea of how they're moving, and they're training over this same area. They're just kind of stagnating there. We see a massive pressure gradient. And those are some pretty compact yet powerful storms, it looks like. And let's just view this area over the Montana, North Dakota border area to show you the way the jet stream is dipping down. That should give you some insight into what's going on with the snow situation right now. Thanks to our patrons, a real source of funding for the content. Please consider becoming a Patreon. It's patreon.com/smAshomash. And we've got a few patrons. Thanks again, patrons. Again, you're the real source of funding. Look for lots more content coming from Patreon. The summer's just sort of winding down here, and look for us to do a whole lot of different new things in 2021 especially, and leading up to then. Please visit the links, support the channel if you are willing, ready, and able, as we are broke and we can't really do very much until we receive a little bit more funding. So we're growing the organization. We're changing all the websites around and changing the merch situation. Look for all of that stuff to change at the end of the month. Look for me to vanish as I thank the Smash team for sharing on social media, etc. We are not gaining traction on YouTube whatsoever, which is fine. But thanks for flying American Smashways regardless. Please keep your head and arms inside the Smash plane at all times. We don't need to see any dismemberment or decapitation here at the Smash News Network. We're going to show you the 131 angstroms. I'm sorry, the 193 angstroms. SDO 48-hour video. Not 131, 193. Here's a close-up of Sunspot 2776 in colorized magnetogram. And it's looking like it's still beta class from here. Let's get a better idea by looking at the intensitygram. And we still do see some North Pole umbrae. They're very small. Let's take a look at this active region rising in the north. And we won't see any features on the intensitygram with that. Just a little bit of lightning there. Nothing to write home about. Here's the 193 angstroms SDO 48-hour view. Significant filaments over there in the northeast. Thanks for tuning in. Remember to stare at the sun. Attempt to understand the physics, since the sun is the Rosetta Stone of cosmology. Understanding how it works is the key to rewriting cosmology and astrophysics, which is, by the way, a thing that's happening for real. Welcome to the Neo-Renaissance. Visit our sites, and may that solar wind be at your back and that covidiocy absent from your location. Feels like it's made of cheddar. Cheddar, okay? Cheddar. Cheddar.